Okay, I've got all the parts detailed for the final assembly on this. There's the floor pan, and I've got the seat and pedals and the fire extinguisher glued down, and that piece that goes between the pedals and the shifter. There's my wheels on this engine. I took those coil packs that come with the kit for the GM engine and cut them apart and put some of them on the front of the engine just to make it look a little more like a Toyota engine. It's not perfect, but it looks more accurate than just using that GM engine on the Toyota. There's the rear end and all the shocks and fuel cell, and the wheels are detailed. I'll glue that to the main part of the roll cage and glue it all down to the floorboard. There's that engine control unit and the steering wheel and that control box, I guess it is. It's in the middle of the dash. So I'm gonna glue all this stuff together and do the decals, and I'll be back when I get everything done with what it all looks like. All right, I've got all the parts on this chassis and roll cage except for the wheels and those lines that come off the fuel cell. And there's that air cleaner system that I've talked about quite a bit. And all the interior parts are in, and you can see it. On these 2023 cars, you have that gauge cluster goes on top of that dash, where on the 2022 cars that went on one of those bars that runs across the front of the roll cage. And I got the fuel cell on. I also still need to put the front bumper on. I did all of the FedEx and sponsorship decals yesterday and let them dry out. And now I have to put all these grill and light and window decals on. Now, something I don't like on these next gen kits is they have all these wrap type decals, which, you know, the cars have wraps on them, so that's accurate. But they don't really give you a lot of instructions on what should go on first as far as these body decals or the sponsorship wrap type decals. And I ran into an issue on this where I put those decals on the back bumper area and then realized there's a decal that goes across that, but I should be able to cut around the decals that I've put on and cut that decal that I'm showing here and make it work. But you have to be careful, because I've ran into the other situation on the Camaros where I've put those grill and light decals in first and then realized that there's other sponsor decals and the color decals on the car that run underneath those. So it's kind of confusing. And I'm gonna go ahead and I just glued that back tray piece that goes over the fuel cell on, as well as the air cleaner. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry out for a few hours. Then I'll put the wheels on, and I will start putting the rest of these decals on, and be back with the final assembly. Okay, so here's the chassis and roll cage completed, and it turned out real nice. It has a good stance, and the wheels went on real easily. And that's done. Then I got into doing these decals and ran into some issues. And I was able to find another set of these on eBay for a pretty good price. So I'm gonna wait for those to arrive, and then I'll place those over the decals I already have on in the places where they ripped a little bit, or there were a couple of them that got destroyed putting them on. So basically everything's done. I'm just gonna be waiting on these new decals to arrive to be able to finish the final build or the final assembly, and I'll put pictures of that up whenever I get it done and post a short video about it.